What are my biggest regrets with the Amazon influencer program, and how could I have made more money had I not done these things? I tell you. However, lucky for you, I'm going to run down my biggest regrets with the Amazon influencer program and how you can turn those around and put them in your favor. I'm going to cover that and a heck of a lot more. So I'm super fired up for this. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna jump into my screen share here in a minute and talk about the 7 biggest regrets that I have as an Amazon influencer. But first, before I even jump into there, let me remind you that my guide is available below. You're gonna have to check the description below, send me an email, let me know you want this guide. And this guide includes data on thousands and thousands of accounts that I've seen that have been either approved or disapproved, and my reasoning as to what you have to have in order to get approved. So it goes into depth and detail, and it's available below by just sending me an email. So let's go ahead and jump into the 7 regrets, not in any particular order, but starting with number 7. And number 7 is simply not going, when I first started this, for the products that have the highest price tags. Obviously, I started off just not knowing anything about influencer and just began to do products. Every single product that I had in my house was in danger of getting recorded. So it didn't matter the price of the product. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't even matter. I didn't even check if it was available on Amazon. I just started to record because I knew nothing. However, looking back, I wish I had started by strategically going for the highest price products. And let me show you why. And that is simply because you stand to make the most from those. And while they might not have the largest percentages that you do get, they're all varied, as you can see by this chart. Like even the furniture gets only 3%. Luxury, beauty, fashion, and Amazon coins gets 10. But things like toys gets 3, Kindle tablets and devices gets 4, business and industrial supplies gets 6, which probably not a lot of people do. There's not a lot of clothing stuff on there that gets paid. Outdoors gets 3. But essentially what this means is if you go into something like home and household, which is usually like, it's 3%, that's home improvement. So home's probably about the same thing. Sports and kitchen 1%, doesn't really get a heck of a lot. But if you go into things like that, when I sell one of these things, I get a pretty decent amount of money. I have a video on a similar product that's $500. If I had just strategically targeted the highest priced products, it's going to equal a lot more money than if I'm just going for anything that's in my house, including like this pen was a victim. You know, truth be told, I don't know if the pen was actually included. I was just exaggerating. But it just goes to show that literally you can do a video on anything, but you strategically want to target those products that are going to make you the most amount of money. So that's the biggest regret at number 7 that I have. It's like I said, in no particular order. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 is simply not purposely filming multiple videos of each of these high price products. So what I mean by that is I could have easily filmed the unboxing of this and or why I like my Dyson purifier after having it for a year, or something like how to use your Dyson purifier, or even something like some of the most frequently asked questions. I could have just gone down here and searched for what the most frequently asked questions are about this Dyson purifier, and then I could have just strategically filmed multiple videos. So in order to see those FAQs, you now have to ask a question like, how big is this? And something comes up. So customer Q&As, I would have just pick the top one here, and it says, what range does this cover? That's one of the most frequently asked questions. So I would have done an FAQ on the Dyson purifier and so forth. That's second biggest regret. Third biggest regret is not having a solid workflow. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when I initially started doing this, I would just shove them all on my phone and then send them over to via airdrop to my computer, and then my computer stick them somewhere else. But the reality is what I should have been doing is just developed a system, and I'll explain that in one of the subsequent reasons, which is what you can do, and this flows into the regret number 4. You can combine products that are in the same category and or niche and compare them. So say for example, right now I do this Dyson purifier right here, and I have this Dyson, I believe it's a purifier, right? And I do a video on it. If I had just saved it in my computer somewhere and done it with the intention of just showing kind of how it works, then when I got a different purifier, let's say I have a, for some reason I get a different one and it's this Clean Force one, and now I do, or this Aerove one. Now when I do this one, I can combine those two videos, and now I have a comparison video, and that's another video that I could upload to Influencer and use that as well. So then that'll have two ASINs on it, or two of these codes for each product. Each product has a unique code called an ASIN that Amazon uses to differentiate all the products on their site. Each of those will get tagged, which means it'll possibly show up on this page, and it will also possibly show up on the Dyson page. So again, by combining the two videos that I did, I'm comparing essentially the two products in one brand new video, and now I've got even another video that I can upload, and again, can get monetized, and I can earn commission off of that video. So had I had a good, solid, consistent workflow along with categorizing and making sure I save all my videos together like this within the workflow, that would have allowed me to have even more videos and possibly earn even more commissions. Which brings me to the next, to number 5. Biggest regret is not doing something as simple as settling for thumbnails with words. Like, this guy does really well. I'm very impressed by this guy. He does a tremendous job, and I'll talk a few of his tactics here in this video. But one is just this. This is really a very easy to read thumbnail. It kind of shows a back of the product and what's going on, and it's just what you should know. It looks professional. It looks like I've got to figure out what this is. And then he just casually puts the name up there in very small lettering. And I'm not even concerned about that. All I want to know is what I should know. So it's very good. It's very eye-catching. It stands out. It looks professional. It looks like something that I would want to see, as opposed to all these goofy ass faces, or when people put their face, like I do that too, just because I kind of jumped on a trend. However, I think this is much easier to execute. You could get a VA to do this without having to Photoshop your face or take off the background with Canva and doing really dumb shit like that. I think this is just nice, neat. It obviously works. He uses this across his entire brand, and it just stands out. So very nice job that he does with that simple and easy to use thumbnail that can be given to your team to do for you. Which brings me to regret number 6. And this one is, again, something that this guy did. I did one of the bonuses. I missed another couple, but I think I just came in and missed the first one that I was offered. Clearing all the bonuses. That is really important, because that really brings your income level to a whole different level. I mean, let's face it, the last bonus that they offered is $12,500, and that's why you see about 150 to 250 different SIM cards on Tyler Vegas Morrison's influencer page, right? Because of the fact that he made these very intentionally in order to clear the $12,000 bonus that Amazon offered him, as well as many other creators. I mean, a lot of people didn't get that amount. They had to do double the videos, but it still was worthwhile to be able to do it. $12,500 for a single month's of work, and this could have been easily cleared in 4 to 5 days, which is what I did myself. So I did partake in some of the bonuses, but I regret not having done the previous bonus that I was offered, and I just didn't know any better. So a lot of times you live and learn. You don't know any better, so you just kind of do and go about it and eventually learn some valuable lessons. So hopefully these lessons get passed on to you and you don't make the same mistakes that I did. But that still brings me to the biggest regret, or not necessarily the biggest regret, one of the biggest regrets, because they're all equally regretful. But that is something very smart that, once again, Tyler Morrison is doing here, and that is preparing for seasonal outcomes. In his case, he's already preparing for Christmas. Like, I don't know how this guy got so many trees, but he's got, so far from what I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this looks like garland, so 6, 7, 8. He's already got like 8 different possible trees, plus this looks like it could, this is retirement party signs, but he's got 8 possible trees already, and Christmas isn't even here. We are right now in October, which it's very close. We're already technically in Q4, so he's already making these videos, which means he's gonna make a boatload of money, because when those trees hit, he's going to get a lot of sales, and he's possibly one of the few people that are doing this. So he's going to reap those benefits this year, especially because there hasn't been a huge amount of influencers prior to this year. The recent influx has just happened this year. So this guy's banking. He's doing really smart things. I would certainly suggest looking at what he's doing over time. It's very smart to study the people that are doing a tremendous job on their influencer account. This is one of them. But that's pretty much a wrap for my 7 biggest regrets. And again, my email is below in case you do want that guide on how to get into influencer to begin with, right? You might not have a social media following. That doesn't matter. I kind of talk about that in the guide, and that is available right now for free. So that is below. Other than that, questions and comments go below. I always personally answer those, and I'll see you guys next time.